tonight. The potential social media ban for youth that has the country talking.
We haven't had anything on the books. Tech companies have essentially been allowed to operate as they wish, make up the rules as they go along.
Is it a nanny state telling moms and dads how to parent, or the online protection needed to keep kids safe from predators and cyberbullying? Ottawa's Catholic School Board making cuts.
How is the bus driver supposed to be keeping his eye on the road, focusing on that, when in fact something's going on with the kids?
But some parents say there are positions being slashed that could have them concerned to put their children, the most precious cargo in their lives, on the school bus. Plus the highway crash that snarled traffic for a couple of hours. New details emerge about the vehicles involved and why one of the drivers is being charged. Good evening. Patricia is away. We begin tonight with new details emerging about a proposal to protect children 16 and under in this country. It is a ban on social media. The federal government is expected to include the measure in its Online Harms Act, which is set to be introduced tomorrow. CTV's Tyler Fleming joins us in studio with more. Tyler.
Yeah, Stefan, the Liberals aren't sharing many details about what will be included in the legislation, but it could look similar to the action taken by Australia last December. Evgeny Petrenko has 5 kids who all share one important rule.
We don't let them on social media. You just get exposed to absolutely everything. And there's things that kids should not be seeing at that age, and there's things that I don't want my kids to see.
Now, Petrenko's perspective could soon be reflected in a law. On Wednesday, the federal government will table its Online Harms Act, which is expected to include a ban on social media for those 16 years old and under.
We will take all reasonable measures to make sure kids are safe in this country.
Do you feel more confident?
I think it's obvious why it's a priority.
The government isn't providing details in advance, but the proposed ban could be similar to measures Australia took last December.
The bad thing about social media is definitely the addiction.
Down under, online platforms like Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, TikTok, X, and YouTube must prevent kids 16 and under from having accounts, and existing accounts are disabled. Experts say growing evidence of health harms makes the bill necessary.
Tools need to be put in the hands of both teenagers as well as their parents and members of the broader community to ensure that kids can be raised in a digitally safe environment and be ready for adulthood without being prematurely exposed to this level of toxicity.
But will it be enforceable?
Everything's on there. All our sources of inspiration and connection are on there, so it's just not really going to work.
Many tech-savvy teens say bypassing the ban will be easy, making education a critical piece of the puzzle.
It's definitely up to families to sort it out. They should really just be controlling that kind of screen time, especially from a young age.
Youth social media bans are gaining traction around the world. Here, several provinces are exploring restrictions. In Malaysia, new rules for young users started last week, while in Brazil, parents must be linked to accounts.
It's great to see what other people are doing around the world, but it's it's infectious. Again, social media is also influential, both good and bad too.
One key question is whether AI chatbots will be included as part of the Online Harms Bill and social media ban. In Australia, more youth are turning to the technology for content, a shift experts warn could expose kids to even greater risks. Stefan.
CTV's Tyler Fleming reporting live for us tonight. Thank you, Tyler. We have extended coverage of what's expected to be included in the Online Harms Bill. You can find more online at ctvnewsottawa.ca. Parents of children with special needs are speaking out tonight after learning bus attendants will no longer ride Ottawa Catholic School Board buses this fall. The board is cutting the program. It says the change will improve transportation reliability, but some families worry critical support is being taken away. CTV's Caitlin Wilson is in studio with the details. Caitlin.
Yes, Stefan, the parents I spoke with say this isn't just about transportation, it's about safety. They say bus attendants are there for a reason and are struggling to understand why that support is being removed when their children's needs haven't changed.
She is a beautiful little girl who is, she's developmentally around 4 to 6 months old, and she has an undiagnosed genetic condition.
For the past 2 years, Mia has relied on a bus attendant to help get to and from school. But this fall, that support will be gone.
If she aspirates or chokes on something, it can be a situation of life or death for Mia.
The Ottawa Catholic School Board is eliminating bus attendance for students with special needs starting in September, a change that could impact around 100 students.
Nobody can reasonably expect somebody driving to drive with multiple children who are medically complex and nonverbal and be able to do so safely.
In a statement to CTV News, the board says the change follows ongoing service challenges, including situations where buses were canceled when attendants were unavailable, causing students to miss school. Jennifer Bloom has worked as a bus attendant for more than 20 years, supporting students with a range of medical, behavioral, and mobility needs. She says her biggest concern is safety.
I've worked with students that have several seizures. They could be big seizures, small seizures, aspiration issues. So it's extremely concerning that these responsibilities may be put on solely on the driver.
The board says safety remains its highest priority and that healthcare professionals will determine the level of support needed during transportation. A letter from Mia's school tells parents to contact your healthcare partner to discuss the process for a medical review. But Jollymore says when she reached out to Mia's healthcare team, it seemed to come as a surprise.
We were told that they need to look into it to get more information, and our personal opinion is they might not have even been aware.
While Mia's needs haven't changed, her parents say the support available has. And unless she has an attendant, she won't be riding the bus in September.
We all preach inclusivity, but it's unfortunate when changes like this are showing that we're not practicing what we're preaching.
And that same letter says drivers are trained to support students with special needs. In a statement to CTV News, the Ottawa Student Transportation Authority says it was consulted and will work with the board and transportation operators to support a safe transition in the fall. Stefan?
CTV's Caitlin Wilson reporting live for us. Thank you, Caitlin. Now to a story that reads like a movie script. It involves allegations of an Air Canada pilot flying hundreds of commercial flights over 17 years without a proper license. CTV's John Woodward has those details.
This investigation and the details surrounding it read like a movie script.
But police say this fraud was very real. An Air Canada pilot flying for decades, captaining planes full of passengers like 767s and 777s that he wasn't licensed to do.
During that time, he captained over 900 domestic flights, earning millions of dollars in salary for those captaining flights, but also flew tens of thousands of passengers.
Charged with fraud and forgery is Jeff Wall, who a posted biography with Ontario's Georgian College says once flew with Canada's Armed Forces and helped connect future pilots with careers as a part-time employee.
Canadian airlines are safe.
That's video of Wall in 2015 sitting down for an interview on CTV's Canada AM. He was the chair of the Air Canada Pilots Association during the period Peel police say he wasn't licensed. Air Canada said in a statement, despite the licensing problem, he was competent to fly, saying safety was not compromised by this incident because all pilots at Air Canada undergo mandatory recurrent training every 6 months to validate their flying competency.
I'm going to show you this. This is mine, actually.
CTV aviation expert Phil Dirty said every year or more a pilot has to show his license to what's called a check pilot, a person working for Transport Canada. But there's apparently no cross-referencing that with government databases.
It's not valid. So, you're taking it at face value, but when the medical is done, then it should be checked there. And then also with the database at Transport Canada, it should also be checked at that point as well.
Police say it was a regular check in March of 2025 that finally flagged the license. Air Canada called in Transport Canada, which reviewed the situation, and then they called the police. Police allege that Wall made a false police report to them to cover his tracks. Wall hasn't responded to messages from CTV News. He's considered innocent until proven guilty and did have a lower standard of pilot's license. John Woodward, CTV News, Mississauga.
Still ahead, grateful for 106 years of life. A birthday tea party fit for a queen happening inside Ottawa's castle. The Chateau Laurier going above and beyond to celebrate the woman who also served in the Second World War. And here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. The current temperature, 29 degrees. And now for a first check on that forecast and what else we can expect. Jackie is outside for us tonight. Jackie.
Thanks so much, Stefan. Yes, we're hanging out at the Capitol Barbecue patio this evening. It is pretty warm outside right now, but with the shade, it's feeling much more manageable. These temperatures are going to maintain in the high 20s for the rest of the week, but today will be the nicest day that we do see for the next few days. Now, taking a look at our satellite radar, clear skies now, but it will be a different story as we look towards the overnight. We are anticipating some rain moving through. More on that in just a bit, but right now throughout eastern Ontario, 28 to 29 degrees with some sunshine. A little bit cooler at Kingston at 23 degrees. Mainly sunny for pretty much most of the region. It is the overnight, including parts of Pembroke as well as Renfrew, that we could see rain moving through and the risk of isolated thunderstorms. It has prompted a special weather statement in effect for this area. We have not seen an alert here for Ottawa. 20 degrees for our overnight. Tomorrow, the anticipated daytime high 23 degrees, but with the humidity, it's going to feel closer to 29. Again, anticipating between 15 to 25 millimeters of rain, but again, parts of Pembroke could see up to 50 millimeters of rain moving through.
We have breaking news. An OPP officer has been killed in the line of duty in Northern Ontario. The OPP commissioner says Constable Taryn Bali was killed in Hearst, a remote community about 500 kilometers northeast of Thunder Bay. The OPP says officers were conducting an investigation in the community when Bali was seriously injured and died. One person was taken into custody. No charges have been announced so far, and police have not provided details on how Bali was killed exactly. And developing news out of Barrhaven tonight. Emergency crews are on the scene of a home where a fire started this afternoon. Multiple people called 911 around 3:20 p.m. after seeing flames in the basement of a house on Muirfield Gardens near Cedarview Road. The fire took about an hour to get under control. No injuries were reported. Police and firefighters are still at the scene this hour. The cause is under investigation. Police say more updates will be provided as soon as they become available. Police are looking for a suspect after a flagpole displaying the Pride flag was cut down at an elementary school in Carp over the weekend. Police were called to St. Michael's School on Corkery Road near March Road around 8:15 Sunday night. Officers found the flagpole cut down. The board confirms it has since been replaced and a new flag was installed yesterday. Police have released this photo of the suspect and a suspect vehicle. He is described as a heavy-set man between 25 and 40 years old. He was wearing a dark-colored hoodie and shorts at the time of the incident, and he was driving a four-door sedan. Ontario Provincial Police have charged a driver after a truck hauling an RV trailer rolled over on the Queensway last night. This happened around 9:30 p.m. in the eastbound lanes near Lees Avenue. Police say both the pickup truck and trailer flipped onto their side after the driver lost control while attempting to pass another vehicle. A fridge that was inside the RV ended up going over the center median and into oncoming traffic. Thankfully, it didn't strike any other vehicles. No one was seriously injured. The driver was charged with careless driving. And a driver is facing charges after allegedly falling asleep at the wheel and crashing into oncoming traffic. OPP were called to Highway 416 around 6:30 Sunday night. Police say the driver fell asleep while traveling in the southbound lanes, crossed into the northbound lanes, and struck an oncoming car. Drivers in both cars suffered minor injuries. An organization that has helped hundreds of families start a new life in Canada says it will have to close. House to Home furnishes homes for refugees arriving in Ottawa, but it's losing its largest storage space. Diamond Storage temporarily donated a storage facility on Walkley Road to them last year, but that is set to become unavailable. CTV's Peter Sperling joins us in studio with more on this. Peter.
Stefan, many refugees arrive here with next to nothing. Their house or apartment completely empty. For years, House to Home has helped them get started, but now they say they'll have to close.
Yeah, we've got this table.
Christelle and Yannick are making a home in Canada.
For the family, for children. That's why we came here.
The couple arrived here from Cameroon last year with 3 children and just days ago into this East Ottawa townhome.
And you came with no furniture?
Yeah, we came with no furniture.
But thanks to an organization called House to Home, they now have everything from a kitchen table, couch, toaster to beds.
To answer our prayers.
But after helping 2,700 families since launching in 2020, House to Home says it will have to shut down.
We are preparing to close up. We have volunteers here today that are helping shut everything down.
Late last year, the organization had to leave its space at the Westgate Mall because of construction. Founder Susie Shore-Sauve says she moved operations temporarily into this donated storage space at the Diamond facility on Walkley Road.
It's become our headquarters, so to speak, but our time is up here as well, and so we don't really have another home to go to. So without a large space, we will just have to close.
Diamond tells CTV News they've had a long relationship with House to Home and are working with the organization to find a reasonable solution, including a possible extension.
So if we could do their drawers for them.
But even this space, Shore-Sauve says, is not ideal.
We need bigger space. It's too hard just even to run out of here. It's just too hard. It's too complicated. We need bigger space to make it happen.
Volunteers here reflecting on the newcomers that have been helped.
Oh, they're just thrilled.
It means a lot for us.
House to Home still hoping to find new space to continue supporting families coming here.
I just can't stand the thought of people living without anything.
Again, Stefan Diamond says it will work with House to Home until a solution can be found. For now, the organization says it's in the process of helping a few more families, which it will do before shutting down. Stefan.
All right, CTV's Peter Sperling reporting live for us. Thank you, Peter. Parks Canada is beginning its first period of job cuts as part of the federal government's plan to reduce the size of the public service. The department says affected employees have already been notified. Parks Canada would not say how many positions will be impacted, but says it is prioritizing attrition and reassignment. The department says it's working to modernize how it delivers its programs to meet the financial targets set by the government. Prime Minister Mark Carney says the new Gordie Howe Bridge that connects Windsor and Detroit will open at the end of the week with a ribbon-cutting ceremony. But there are still questions on when it will actually open to traffic. CTV's Ottawa Bureau Chief Graham Richardson has more.
If only the construction complexities of this massive project were the only obstacle. After decades of planning, years of construction, apparently the Gordie Howe Bridge is set to open between Windsor and Michigan.
It's positive news. Obviously, the bridge will be open at the end of the week, and you know, a symbol, but also a fact of cooperations between our countries.
But in 2026, it's just not that simple. After blasting Canada over the bridge in February and threatening to block it because of trade disputes, the White House said, despite the ribbon-cutting Friday, the president's position on the Gordie Howe Bridge has not changed. The administration remains committed to securing the best deal for the American people. So some kind of ceremony this week, but no official answer yet on when traffic will actually flow.
Politics is getting weird, and I think that is the technical term these days.
The bridge was paid for by Canada, American workers and materials were used, and it's partially owned by the state of Michigan. There is wide support for it opening on the American side, too.
If there is a better deal to be had by the Americans, I have no idea what that would be.
For those who fought for decades to keep the project going on the Canadian side, there is optimism.
I'm surprised that it's been resolved as quickly as it has, and kudos to Canada and to our American friends the many, many American friends who have long supported this project.
But then again, maybe not.
Well, I hope so. I really hope so that it's going to happen. So let's see what really happens.
So there will be some kind of an opening ceremony on the bridge itself on Friday. One American media outlet is reporting that vehicles will flow starting Monday morning, but that was before that statement today from the White House. So the people of Michigan and Windsor may have to wait a little longer for the strange politics of 2026 to work themselves out. Graham Richardson, CTV News, Ottawa.
As the cost of living continues to climb, a new survey is shining a light on how many people here in the capital are feeling the financial pressure. The report finds more than 2/3 of people who call Ottawa home say they are worried about their finances. CTV's Austin Lee joins us now in studio to break down the numbers. Austin.
Yeah, well, Stefan, for many, the numbers really won't come as a shock, especially given the high cost of housing, gas, and groceries. According to the survey conducted by Leger on behalf of United Way, 66% of people living here in Ottawa say they are worried about their financial situation, and that is up from 55% in last year's survey. 47% of those surveyed say they are struggling to put food on the table, and that's above the national average, which is 38%. Now, the online survey heard from just over 8,000 Canadians between February 17th and March 11th of this year. 2,000 of the respondents were here in Ontario. The president and CEO of United Way East Ontario says regardless of the financial status, people here in the capital are feeling that financial stress.
The survey revealed that 47% of people in Ottawa have about 1 month worth of savings to be able to get by if they lose a paycheck or if they lose their job. That's not a lot of money, and that puts people in tremendous amount of stress.
And last year, 42% of those surveyed said that they had a buffer of 1 month or less. So on that front, we've seen an increase of 5%. Wilson adds addressing these concerns is a nonpartisan issue, with increasing affordable housing options and addressing food insecurity being the top priorities. Stefan.
CTV's Austin Lee with this update for us. Thank you, Austin. And we now know which astronauts will be taking part in the Artemis 3 mission.
The Artemis 2 crew, comrade, hands you the baton. You got the controls.
Canadian Jeremy Hansen passing the torch to the next crew. Today, 3 Americans and an Italian have been selected. They will not be going to the moon, but will conduct a demonstration in Earth's orbit next year. The mission will be a key test of a variety of systems ahead of the moon landing scheduled for the year 2028.
When people say, what keeps you so young? I said, 2 eggs a day.
What's her secret to living a long and happy life? We'll have more on this early birthday celebration for an Ottawa woman set to turn 106 years old. Stay with us for that story. Jackie.
Can't wait to hear that story, Stefan. A beautiful day this evening here in the capital. Will continue for the overnight, at least here in Ottawa. But again, a reminder, a special weather statement is in effect for parts of Pembroke. Taking a look at what we can see for our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. Downtown Ottawa, 29 degrees. Again, sun shining. Sun starting to set, scheduled for 8:45 this evening.
Welcome back to CTV News at 6. Taking a live look at the Queensway this hour. Traffic volume is easing, but we are seeing some major slowdowns in the westbound lanes of the 417 at Woodruff. If you are eastbound from the West End, you will notice a slowdown around Parkdale. Well, she was a code breaker during the Second World War and is now a grandmother of 5. Next month, Wynne Beecroft turns an incredible 106 years old. Today, she celebrated the milestone with her son and friends with afternoon tea at Ottawa's Castle. Here's CTV's Katie Griffin.
Happy birthday, dear Wynne.
Wynne Beecroft has a lot to celebrate.
I was born July the 2nd, 1920.
To mark turning 106 next month, afternoon tea at the Fairmont Chateau Laurier.
It's rather puzzling, but when I come to think about it, I suppose 106 is a lot of days.
Beecroft was born in England.
My mother, when I was young, told me I would never be anything but a servant. So I said, to heck with you.
Beecroft served with the Royal Air Force during the Second World War. She was one of the Enigma girls, helping to break the German code.
We tuned the dials and we tried to hear whatever Morse code was coming over from the enemy, as it were. If we got a full message on a full page, we used to call the supervisor. The supervisor would say, oh, hurry, hurry, and off he'd go to send it off to headquarters.
She came to Canada in 1955 with her husband Rex and 3 children. The grandmother of 5, the backbone of her family.
She's had so many obstacles in her way in life. She's overcome them all. She's always been very, very loving and supportive.
This milestone celebration thanks to Wynn's friends.
As we go through life, it's very rare to find good friends that you have for years and years and years. And every year they become a little bit more precious.
The hotel pulling out all the stops.
When I got that email, I was like, immediately, this is so exciting. And how cool was it that they would choose us to celebrate with?
As for the secret to living such a long life, Beecroft says luck and eggs.
When I was a young girl, my mother put me on eggs. She said they were very good for me. So I've had 2 eggs every day since. And this is what I say when people say, what keeps you so young? I said 2 eggs a day.
Katie Griffin, CTV News.
2 eggs a day. Thank you for that tip, Wynn, and happy early birthday. Well, hopefully you had a chance to get outside and enjoy the sunshine today because the rain is coming. Many people out taking advantage of the heat and the sunshine. It dows late this afternoon, but there's a chance of showers in the forecast overnight and the next several days. Let's go back to Jackie on the patio with a full look at the forecast. Jackie.
Yes, I'm taking advantage of the patio today, Stefan, because tomorrow will be a completely different story. The current temperature right now, we're sitting around 30 degrees, and the sun sets, you know what? It's going to be at 8:49 this evening. Sunrise, though, 5:14. Wow. It's getting a lot earlier, and we're getting lots of sunshine in store. That will be a different story for tomorrow. More on that in just a bit. Tonight's lows across eastern Ontario, 18 to 20 degrees. Yes, there's a slim chance that it could be a risk of isolated thunderstorms moving through. A special weather statement is already in effect for Pembroke, where when all is said and done for tomorrow evening, could see up to 50 millimeters of rainfall. We don't have that here for Ottawa just yet or along the Seaway, but we are keeping a close eye on this. Meanwhile, temperatures, while we will see cooler temperatures about 22, 23 degrees, when you factor in the humidity, it will feel closer to the high 20s. Pembroke even feeling closer to 31. Taking a look at Montreal, feel closer to 34 as well. Now here's a look at when we can expect the rain to move through around the Bancroft area. Heavy thunderstorms, heavy rainfall as well. This will move into the region close around the noon hour. That's when we can expect more rain moving through the valley, even Ottawa and Cornwall. We may see a little bit of a break on this, but by the time the evening rolls around, just like 6 p.m. to 9 p.m., we could see more heavy rainfall moving through. And keeping an eye on the Cornwall area as well, just east of Ottawa, because that's when we could expect significant thunderstorms to roll in as well. Now, right now, across the country, look at Atlantic Canada, the warm-up starting to continue. Fredericton, 28 degrees. Halifax sitting at 20. Much of Canada is under this heat wave that's moving through. It's coming from the Midwest. Toronto, 25 degrees. Here in Ottawa, 29, 27 in Windsor. But it is going to be really warm in Winnipeg, 30 degrees right now. But you can see in the prairies, Edmonton, Calgary, about 19, 20 degrees. And it's much cooler in Vancouver at 16 degrees. Taking a closer look at what we can expect for Thursday. Not much in terms of rainfall. There is a slight chance we could see some showers moving in, but for the most part, it is going to be a mainly clear day. Now, taking a look at our 7-day forecast brought to you by Davidson Hearing Aid Centers, celebrating over 80 years in family business. Can see that 23 is the anticipated daytime high. A reminder, though, with that humidity, it's going to feel closer to 29. Thursday, it will be 29 degrees. Friday, 31 as well, but it's going to be mucky. It's going to be humid. We won't likely see sunshine until Saturday, when we will see a daytime high of 27 degrees and a little bit of a break from the precipitation moving through. So if you want to enjoy the sunshine, if you want to enjoy the patio, tonight is a good night to do this. Enjoy a walk as well, because tomorrow, perhaps even the next day, we could likely see muggy, wet, rainy weather. Stefan.
All right, I hear you, Jackie. Noted. I'll take that advice. Thank you.
With the closure of the supervised consumption services, now as a physician, I feel like I'm losing an option to support my clients.
Coming up, a group of Ottawa doctors raising concerns about the upcoming closure of the city's 2 remaining supervised consumption sites. Our popular Team of the Week segment is back. If you want to be a part of our Myers Automotive Group Team of the Week, upload your video to ctvnewsottawa.ca. A new warning from a group of Ottawa doctors tonight about the potential impacts of the closure of supervised drug consumption sites. The two remaining locations in the city, the trailer at the Shepherds of Good Hope and the site at the Sandy Hill Community Health Centre, will run out of provincial funding on Saturday. Here's CTV's Dylan Dyson.
The trailer, a supervised consumption site located behind the Shepherds of Good Hope, is set to close.
Sadly, with the closure of the supervised consumption services, now as a physician, I feel like I'm losing an option to support my clients.
Doctors working with Ottawa Inner City Health issued a statement Tuesday saying the closure of the supervised consumption site could have dire consequences.
When these sites close and there is not an option for a supervised consumption service, that there is a rise in emergency department visits and opioid-related toxicity.
The province is ending funding for all supervised drug consumption sites as of Saturday. Other organizations that help the vulnerable, like the Ottawa Mission, say that will create new burdens.
Certainly that's going to put added pressure on our frontline staff in case we're having to respond to overdoses. And it'll put a huge pressure on the community as we see more people using drugs in an open environment.
Instead, the Ontario government is shifting its focus and funding to heart hubs, offering support for homelessness and addiction recovery treatment. The health minister has previously said the heart hubs will, quote, connect vulnerable residents with resources they need to rebuild their lives.
We don't think it's an either or. We think it should be heart hubs plus a place where people who are still intent on using substances and haven't yet made the decision to move towards getting well.
Ottawa Inner City Health now warning drug use could be more prevalent in public spaces.
We would worry that when people no longer have a place to go to consume their substances, that they may be pressured into using them in much more dangerous areas, in settings alone.
We expect an increase in deaths and brain damage, very unfortunately, and we will see an increase in the demand for police and paramedic services.
Dylan Dyson, CTV News.
Now for some other stories you need to know right now. The pride flag is flying high on Parliament Hill.
Oh, look at that.
Prime Minister Mark Carney and other politicians attended the official flag-raising ceremony here in Ottawa this morning. Carney noted the rights of LGBTQ2S+ communities around the world are backsliding. Ottawa Transit users paying the single ride fare with a Presto card will no longer be charged more than $12.25 a day. LC Transpo is introducing daily fare capping for Presto card users, which means you can tap your card all day on the O train, buses, or Paratranspo, and you'll never be charged more than $12.25. Fare capping is already in effect for those paying with a credit or debit card. An Ottawa City Councillor is looking at ways to cut down on light pollution. Teresa Kavanagh has submitted a motion which recommends staff look at implementing a light pollution bylaw with the goal of establishing clear standards for outdoor lighting. Kavanagh says she hears complaints from residents, most of them about lights directed towards a home from businesses, high-rises, or neighbors.
There's a hope that's waiting for you in the dark. You should know you're beautiful just the way you are.
The lineup for the Daytime Canada Day celebrations here in Ottawa has been unveiled. Alessia Cara will headline the noon show on July 1st along with Loud, Naomi, and other artists. There will also be other special guests, including Canadian astronaut Jeremy Hansen. Both the daytime and evening celebrations will be held at LeBreton Flats.
I expected him to be tearing everything up and redoing it like any other driveway you've ever seen.
Coming up, the latest warning about door-to-door contractors in Ontario who are taking jobs worth thousands of dollars but doing poor quality work.
Get the latest live local breaking news. Sign up now for our morning and evening CTV News Ottawa newsletter. The best local content from CTV News, Your Morning Ottawa, and News Talk 580 CFRA. Get it all in one place. Sign up now at ctvnewsottawa.ca. The CTV News Ottawa newsletter is brought to you in part by CAA Business.
New pushback tonight about the plan to build a high-speed rail line between Toronto and Quebec City. The Parti Québécois doesn't like the idea and says it will withdraw Quebec from the project if it forms the next government. CTV's Olivia O'Malley has more.
Quebec City would be one of the stops in the federal government's high-speed rail project. Politicians here are in a united front against the PQ's opposition to it.
It's nonsense.
It's not a good thing to send the message that we want to stop this project.
The PQ is threatening to withdraw Quebec from the project if elected this fall. The Alto project is still in the design phase. The proposed high-speed rail line would connect Toronto to Montreal in 3 hours and Montreal to Quebec City in about an hour and a half.
It's not our priority. It's not the priority we should have at this point in time in 2026.
Based on a Bloc Québécois estimation, the PQ says the Quebec portion of the line could potentially cost $40 billion. Instead, it's asking Ottawa to give that money to invest in infrastructure here.
That amount of money we need for other priorities, which are maintaining our buildings and roads and hospitals.
Alto estimates the project will cost between $60 and $90 billion total. Some experts believe this is unrealistic. But Quebec politicians say what's really unrealistic is the fact the PQ believes this money will still exist without the train.
For them to say Quebec is entitled to $40 billion, it's not a reasonable number by any means. It's not a proven number by any means. And if the project doesn't go ahead in Quebec, it doesn't go ahead, period. There is no high-speed project between Toronto and Windsor.
In Ottawa, le Québec met pas d'argent. Federal Industry Minister Mélanie Joly reiterated that Ontario and Quebec don't have to contribute a single penny to the project and praised the project's qualities, including the creation of 50,000 jobs. The PQ says it has not consulted the mayors of Quebec's major cities who have all expressed interest in the project. Montreal's mayor says Quebec must be able to pursue an ambitious vision for the future while continuing to invest in the infrastructure that citizens rely on every day. However, despite the unanimous opposition to the PQ, the train can be pulled off the tracks without the support of the next Quebec government. Olivia O'Malley, CTV News, Quebec City.
Now that the warmer weather has arrived, you may have contractors showing up at your door, but Ontario Provincial Police are issuing a province-wide warning to homeowners after several complaints about some individuals offering roofing upgrades for driveway paving and then doing poor quality work. Here's CTV's Pat Foran.
It's cracking all up in here.
Ernie and Ethel Barron of East York say last month there was a knock on their door and a paving company said they were working in the area. They claim they could do a complete driveway job the next day.
Did they tell you they wanted it in cash?
Oh, yes. First thing.
The company came with pickaxes to tear up the front part of the driveway. No new gravel was put down and workers used boards on their feet to stomp down the new asphalt.
I expected him to be tearing everything up and redoing it like any other driveway you've ever seen.
The driveway now has ruts, cracks, and stones coming loose.
The contractor said he would rip up the entire driveway, but more than half of it is just the old asphalt with some new asphalt spread over it.
That's created a trip hazard. A heavy gate that was removed was also supposed to be put back in place. The couple paid the contractor $5,000. The company said they would return to fix any problems, but never did.
They haven't shown up. They don't answer their phone.
The Barons gave the money to Maplestone Paving and Masonry. When we contacted the company, a spokesperson said, "We acknowledge the driveway did not come out as we had hoped for various reasons. I fully intend to return and fix the driveway within the next 1 to 2 weeks." We waited 2 weeks and contacted the couple. Did they call you?
No, they didn't.
Did they do anything to fix your problem with your driveway?
No, they didn't. They haven't contacted me at all.
The OPP issued a warning after complaints about aggressive door-to-door contractors offering to pave driveways for cash and doing shoddy work.
Don't pay for your job up front with cash. Wait until the job's done and make sure that you're satisfied with it before you're going to pay that amount.
The Barons now worry the paving job they have won't last and regret handing over $5,000 cash. Pat Foran, CTV News.
About 22% of Canadian women experience chronic pain.
but about 50% of Canadian women veterans experience chronic pain.
Still to come, a new report uncovers gaps in research and care when it comes to addressing chronic pain among Canadian women and women veterans. A new national report says chronic pain among women and especially female veterans needs to be addressed immediately. As CTV's Pauline Chan tells us, the report came out of a meeting of leading researchers, patients, and policymakers.
Hélène Lassalère never experienced chronic pain during her 26 years with the military, but she did after.
Injuries in Afghanistan also. I had like a traumatic birth also. So a lot of things contributed to that. It's not only one thing.
And while Canada's military health care is comprehensive, she says the civilian system is fragmented and challenging for chronic pain, even for a military veteran. Dalhousie professor Alice Aikens was a physiotherapist with the Canadian Armed Forces.
About 22% of Canadian women experience chronic pain, but about 50% of Canadian women veterans experience chronic pain.
And she calls last April's report pivotal.
Women have been underrepresented in health research for far too long. And also, women veterans have been underrepresented even in veteran health research.
The authors are calling for a coordinated pan-Canadian plan to address gaps in care, policies, and research into chronic pain.
So I had to go to one clinic, for example, for the physio, another one for chiro, another one for kinesiology.
The report calls for more one-stop shops to provide treatments more efficiently. And Aiken says while the gathering of data for women and women veterans is somewhat recent, a plan to collect and organize pain data will ensure the best care is offered to women and women veterans. Pauline Chan, CTV News.
Take a bow. Coming up, we go live to the orchestra year-end concert with hundreds of young musicians from across the capital on stage. Jackie.
Well, thanks so much, Stefan. A reminder that we do have a special weather statement in effect for parts of Pembroke as well as the Bancroft area where we could see heavy rain showers accumulating to up to 50 millimeters. And this is by the end of Wednesday. Here in Ottawa, close to about 15 to 25 millimeters, but there is still a risk of isolated thunderstorms throughout eastern Ontario. Daytime high 23. By Thursday, we're going to get back up to 29 degrees. Now, here's a live look. There are Centennial glass sky cam where, hey, it's 29 degrees out right now. The sun's still shining, overlooking Kawecki Point.
The National Capital Region is jam-packed with incredible experiences you don't want to miss. Hey, it's Tanea Taylor, your iHeartRadio Weekender, powered by Barhaven Ford. Get the inside scoop on all the biggest and best events every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday on CTV, Move 100, Pure Country 94, TSN 1200, and News Talk 580 CFRA. iHeartRadio Weekenders is powered by Barhaven Ford. Find your wild. More Bronco sports, more ways to roam this summer.
Tomorrow on Your Morning Ottawa, the temperatures are heating up as summer weather arrives here in the capital. We tell you how to protect those furry friends. Tune in on CTV or stream us live on Crave. It all starts at 6.
Hairstyles, courtesy of Salon Fiorella.
Coming up tonight on CTV in just a few minutes, E-Talk starts at 7, then 3 episodes back-to-back of The Big Bang Theory begins at 7:30. You can watch Match Game at 9 and Password at 10. And Jackie's here with a final check on the forecast. Jackie.
No more sunshine. Say goodbye.
Boo.
Say goodbye. Starting things off at 20 degrees. It will feel like 27 when you head out the door. There is a risk of isolated showers, and that will carry on throughout the day, anticipating 15 to 25 millimeters of rain. Parts of the region could also see up to 50 millimeters of rain. Anticipated daytime high is 23 degrees. Things will change for the better by the time Thursday, Friday rolls around. Warmer conditions, about 31 degrees by the time we hit Friday. Slight chance that we could see some showers. I'm very positive for Saturday, though. We will see a break from the precipitation and unsettling weather with a mix of sun and clouds. So the rest of this week looking rainy, looking muggy, cloudy. Stefan, Austin.
All right.
I'm going to leave that with you.
Cool. I'm sorry for booing your forecast. It's good for my lawn.
I'm booing too. It's all right.
It's good for my lawn. It's okay. It's okay. The time now to check in and see what our news team will be working on tonight for 11:30. Austin Lee will be at the desk.
Yeah, thanks, Stefan, filling in for you. And we have some hockey history to share, information on an historic selection at the OHL Under-18 draft. The Brantford Bulldogs have selected goaltender Sophie Jovanovic in the second round. Now, she's the first woman chosen in the OHL Under-18 draft and the second woman ever drafted into the league. So again, some hockey history there. Exciting times for that club and for that young goaltender. Of course, you can get the news anytime, anywhere at ctvnewsottawa.ca. And join me tonight for CTV News at 11:30.
Exciting times for women in sports. Love to see it. Thank you, Austin. And finally for us tonight, it's a night of celebrating music here in the capital. Orchestra is holding its year-end concert this hour. Let's go live to the Carleton Dominion Chalmers Centre. It looks as though we are just switching out instruments, or which orchestra group is about to play. This talented group of around 150 young musicians, they perform, they get to learn. The concert got underway about half an hour ago, and they are playing everything from classical to jazz and even some very recognizable pop arrangements as well. Orchestra collecting donations to support its programs, which are free for children to join. And let me tell you, they are learn some things. They get very talented very quick and show off their skills.
Wonderful live.
Yes.
Yes.
Very wonderful live. I've been to their Christmas concert as well, so this is the year-end concert, but there are other opportunities throughout the year to see them for sure.
Yeah.
Love to see that.
150 kids too. That's a
lot to
That's a
manage.
big group.
Yeah, so
Good for
donate
them.
if you can. Support them if you can. Thanks for watching, everyone, and for supporting us here at CTV Ottawa.